On this episode of the Nerdiest podcast, we're going over some very exciting things, including the future of Nintendo movies, how we're getting in the Christmas spirit, and answering all of the burning questions that you left us for this episode specifically. You're not going to want to miss it. Hello and welcome back to the Nerdiest podcast, the show where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm your host with the most, who's always sleep deprived, Mr. Nick Barrett, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host by Ride or Die, Mr. Jackson Glass. And today, as I alluded to in that intro, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, including the future of Nintendo movies, and then a brief little weekly recap, and then, of course, answering all of your burning questions, which we did get some really good ones, and I think it's going to bring in a lot of good conversation. So, but before we dive into that, before we talk into anything, Jackson, how you doing?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. I'm happy to be here. I can't believe that we are very close to the end of the season.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. If the schedule works out the way it will, which it normally doesn't, so don't keep your hopes up. If it doesn't, if the schedule all works out, this is our second to last episode together for the year. The next time we'll be together will be the year in review.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this year's year in review. It's going to be so good. Update to follow on the schedule. Update to follow on the schedule. And if you're not following us on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast, or YouTube at the Nerdiest Podcast, or Twitter at Nerdiest Pod, or anything else, all the links are in the description. That's the best way to see updates on our schedule and what's coming next. Thank you very much. Very excited to be here.
Yep, very good, very good. Well, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So,
yes, I'm
the
ready.
only news point we have this week, just so we make sure, we hit our time, just have a little discussion here, because I also didn't want to wait, is Nintendo recently had their financial meeting this week, and one of the things that came out of it was they had this little slide, and maybe I'll put it on screen if I don't feel lazy, about building a framework for a consistent release cadence when it comes to their movies. And they showed off, obviously, the Super Mario Bros. Movie in 2023, the Super Mario Galaxy movie in 26, and then Zelda in 27. And then the president, Shintaro Furukawa, said, we're continuing to prepare for the ongoing release of movies in the future. And, of course, on this little image, there were 2 more slots and then a ... So I want to kick this off to you. What do you think the future of Nintendo movies looks like? Because I don't think they can just rely on Mario and Zelda, nor should they. I have more thoughts, but I want to hear from you first.
So this is interesting because the phrasing of in the future tells me that until told otherwise, we can expect a Nintendo movie pretty much every year. And so I think that has brought up a lot of interesting questions like, okay, the Mario movie was great. And so this is what's hard is we don't really have a framework of what a Nintendo movie is going to be outside of the Mario movie, which I think that's wrong because I really hope that they learn some valuable lessons from the Mario movie on what really worked and what really didn't. And then, because here's my thing. Nintendo is beloved. I love Nintendo characters. Everyone else does. They have a dedicated fan base. If they created 10, just a run of 5, 10, just solid movies. They don't need to be cinematic masterpieces. They don't need to be Oscar winners. But if they were just really, really solid, had great stories, were true to their characters, it would be phenomenal. We keep seeing all these other companies trying to do the MCU thing, and we never expected Nintendo to be the ones to actually put their foot down and be like, no, we're doing this, we're doing that. I think that there's an opportunity to. I'm expecting some Pokemon movies coming. I wouldn't be surprised if we got maybe an Animal Crossing TV show. But they're not really into the TV business right now. Every time they've tried that, it's not worked out. I think we're gonna get some more Zelda movies, of course, more Mario. I think they confirmed a Donkey Kong movie.
They did, and then it like never got like officially announced.
So it was like maybe we're getting that. I think that they have a really good cast to back them up, and they have really good fans and really good like some filmmakers that are like actually invested in these projects. So I think the future is bright. I want a me movie. You know the Miis from the Wii? Just like it could be like the Lego movie where they just go to all of these like that's when you throw in Wii Sports, Wii Play, Wii Party, Wii Music, like Wii Sports Resort. Like there is a world here that I think would fill a theater and we just aren't tapping into it. So that's kind of my thoughts. I haven't thought about this super intently really. But I don't know. I think it's interesting that Nintendo's the one that's going to be like actually sticking to this yearly release schedule, which maybe they won't, maybe they'll delay it, but you know, hopefully that those delays are worth it and we can actually like get better stuff from it. So, I don't know, what do you think? Like this is kind of a weird development.
So, I think it's interesting because Nintendo is in this spot where they've been just a game company for so long, and now you see them trying to branch out into the the theme park space with the Super Nintendo Land and getting into like the movie space, right? And they're in the mobile, like they have mobile games and mobile apps now, so they're really trying to branch out. And I think a lot of that may be in part to the Wii U being such a colossal failure that they realize, okay, we should not be a single pillar company anymore.
Yeah.
Because let's say the Switch 2 is a catastrophic flop, right? Like let's say it doesn't sell as well as the Switch does. Well, then they know, okay, we've got movies to back us up. We've got the theme parks to back us up. We've got the mobile app. Like it's the whole thing. But I also think there's a void that has been left by Disney of like just like more good high quality movies. And I think Nintendo, they have such a good brand recognition with their IPs. Everyone knows Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Pokemon, like, which I don't know. Pokemon might keep doing their own thing because they've been doing the anime for a while, and they're kind of like in their own space.
Yeah.
But if I had to put like a label, I think it's interesting if you look at how they're trying to posture new characters to introduce more characters so that, your big ones aren't just Mario and Zelda. Because you look like we got Donkey Kong was a big focus of, the first Mario movie. And then we got the Donkey Kong expansion at the theme parks. And now we have Donkey Kong Bonanza on Switch too. So it's like there's this subtle push for getting Donkey Kong out there that you would think, okay, well, maybe a Donkey Kong movie is next, a la the Lego Batman movie, where you take this spin-off character and it's actually really good. So I think there's that. I also think another franchise they've really been trying to do that with is Kirby. They're really like trying to push Kirby out there. Same for Pikmin. They're really trying to get Pikmin out there. I think Kirby would be a really good, like, almost hit a slightly younger demographic than Mario.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though, like, I've never played a Kirby game. Sorry, guys. I don't.
I've played a few. They're pretty fun.
So, but I think that's another one that, like, you could do a movie or even, like, a series of shorts or a TV show. I think a TV show is where they're not quite ready to break in yet, but I think it's definitely in discussion of where, like, where do we go from here on out? A franchise I would love to see get a movie and I think would really, really help this franchise get in the mainstream is Metroid. I think because Metroid, like, I've played Dread and I'm currently playing through Metroid Prime Remastered, and I want to play Prime 4 on Switch too. And the biggest holdback for me is the gameplay. Like, and I said this on Twitter, I was like, am I a bad person for wanting Metroid Prime 4 to have a third-person mode? Like, not it be the, like, only mode, but just, like, an optional if that's how you want to play. But Metroid has, like, all this deep lore and, like, is actually really cool because Samus is, like, a bounty hunter running around doing all these missions. Like, I think that would be really cool as a movie. And I think if they did that, you could, obviously, I think it's ideal for 90% of these to be animated just because of like
Right.
how stylized Nintendo is. But I also think Metroid could work really well if you go the super practical route and almost make like an old school sci-fi movie from like the 80s, 90s. Like,
yeah,
where it is very practical.
so
The suit
good.
is practical. Like,
so good.
It would be really good. And my selfish heart really wants a Xenoblade anime.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great soiree into the TV show space. But I also think Xenoblade has such a deep and rich story to pull from, and not everyone wants to play, 150-hour JRPG just to experience that. So I think that would help get Xenoblade out in the mainstream a little more. Animal Crossing, I think, is inevitable to get some kind of TV show. I don't think it would work as a movie, but I think a TV show where you almost frame it as like the daily lives of the villagers or whatever.
Yeah, because Animal Crossing is not the big overarching story game. Like a Zelda movie works so well because that's the whole point. Where in Animal Crossing, like you even think about the gameplay, it's more just like, hey, I'm going to pop in for a day. I'm going to pop in for 30 minutes, do what I need to do, say hi to everyone, get into some hijinks, and then leave. Like, hey, that's called a sitcom. So I think there really is an opportunity there. There's some really good art and characters, and it could be really funny, especially if you got the right cast under it. I think you could do like, can you imagine if there was a like Animal Crossing animated mockumentary?
Oh my gosh, that would go
Parks
crazy.
and Rec style, where they're like, we're gonna build up the island, and like that's the whole thing. I think there's actually a really amazing opportunity there for like groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, Nintendo has the IP to pull it off. I think Splatoon is also inevitable. That's a pretty massive game. So I think the future is there, and I kind of want to see it, like where they go with it. I think I've heard. I don't remember where I heard this. If it was a rumor or if it was just like speculation, but I think the Zelda movie is going to turn into a trilogy of movies. I can't remember if that was a rumor or if that was something like we speculated on our episode. That was
remember.
Like 2 years ago. And I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah. I have a life.
So, and I think having a long, like, ongoing, like, even if it was every other year, kind of like how Star Wars was every other year for, their 3 movies. I think you could do that with Zelda, with an animated one in between. Luigi's Mansion, I think, is also another inevitable spin-off.
I really think that one's going to be sooner than we think.
Like,
I do.
I don't know. I would love to see it. I think Donkey Kong might be more likely before Luigi's Mansion, but I also think,
yeah.
I guess we'll see.
We will in fact see.
So, do you have anything else you want to say on that?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think that's good. Good comprehensive.
Yeah, we really
In and out.
Real snappy.
We're getting better about hitting our marks.
We're really trying to like hit our time. Speaking of hitting our time, give me a little weekly recap. Give me a little.
All right.
What you been up to?
I've really just been very busy working on a lot of things that are very exciting. So we're busy with school, of course, and we're nearing the end of the semester. And then by May, I'll be graduated. And so I'll be fully in the workforce with my degree. And you'll see the podcast content hopefully ramp up a little bit. So we're doing. I've had a lot of fun just like talking about 2026 and what we want that to look like for the podcast, and I think it's going to be really good for you guys. Excuse me. That means that I'm also working on a lot of finishing projects. So I am working on a script for a final short film, my college career, that I'm very excited about. I've been working on that a lot. I'm working on a really big photo project, and I'm actually going to be, I have to print it out as a book. So I will be creating a photo book. I'll let you know how it goes. I have to create a photo book. I'm working on that. Just like doing the YouTube thing. Just had a video come out about the Amazing Digital Circus. So if you really liked our episode on the Amazing Digital Circus, I just did a whole breakdown on YouTube. Link is in the description at the Glass Studios channel. Really, that's it. We've done a lot of traveling. Just because it's that time of year, fall hits, and then I got to get out of town. So pretty much every weekend we've been like out, like either like out of town or I'll be filming an event or stuff. So like it's that busy time of year, but I feel I'm very excited about what's going on and what I'm working on. So update to follow on a lot of projects that I'm excited about.
Very good.
But that's pretty much it. Mr. Nick, how was your week?
It was pretty chill. I'm also kind of in that grindy, working on projects phase. I'm trying to finish up. I'm editing my second to last video for the year right now, scripting the last video. That should be done hopefully next week. So getting close to the end of the content year. I'm trying to have it done by like early December so I can take a really like 2 or 3 week extended break and not have to worry about content. So getting close to the end of that. I currently am learning DaVinci Resolve.
That's exciting.
I edited and finished my first video in DaVinci Resolve last week. And honestly, it's not that dissimilar to Premiere. It's really not.
Y'all know I love y'all know I love Resolve.
So I actually canceled my Adobe subscription this week. So that will not renew as of next year. So I'm free.
Chains broken.
$260 a year.
For one software.
Louise. For a Premiere and Media Encoder, which arguably could be merged into the same app. Like
should be.
That's what's so stupid about Premiere. I was looking at it because we use it at work too, and we pay like the full Creative Cloud like thing.
Yep.
What's so stupid is Premiere, After Effects, Media Encoder, and Audition could arguably be merged into the same app.
Yeah.
Which is basically what DaVinci is.
Which is what DaVinci is. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude. Get out of here.
Getting to a point, this is like really geeky, but we're getting to a point where people are creating fully animated shows solely in DaVinci. And it's like, how are we, on what planet can you justify an Adobe subscription when this is here for $300 one time? Now, this sucks because Adobe has a monopoly on the industry, but I don't know if you've been keeping up. Canva just bought Affinity, which was
literally just about to bring that up.
Huge suite of software. They were like, "Yeah, it's free. Just take it."
Yeah, Affinity is free. Canva's not, but Affinity is. I mean, Canva has a free version,
right? Of course.
I don't mind paying for Canva. I use it enough. I use it for every thumbnail, and it's not like it's only $150 a year. Like that does not feel as ludicrously extortionist as Adobe is.
Yep. And so I think that I'm so happy about that because I think this is the first step we've actually gotten into like stepping on Adobe's toes.
Yeah.
Like this is the first time we've actually like challenged them for once.
Did you see,
love that.
Like the keynote presentation that Adobe did on like all their new AI tools that they're adding to all their different software. I'm like, this is so stupid.
Like, no one cares.
Like some of them are kind of good. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind like one or two of these, but some of them are like, if you want to add a puddle to this video and have a cat walk through, I'm like,
who cares? Like, who is actually using this? And this is so funny because I, like, as someone that's in a professional workplace right now, like, as an editor, I'm like, yeah, we use AI tools. Like, but here's the thing, like, an AI tool versus a generative AI tool are very different things.
Yeah, very different.
Like, stop saying AI bad and start saying generative AI bad. Because an AI, like, editing workflow actually works really well. And so if it's like, hey, when you're doing an auto transcript, that's an AI tool. Like
it's
a
very helpful.
And it's a very helpful AI tool. And so it's like, that's fine. But then it's like, Premiere being like, if you need 3 more frames, we could generate 3 more frames. And I'm just like, no, you can't. Like, it looks terrible. It's not. It doesn't work.
It's noticeably different.
I don't know. And then we gave Sam Altman like $3 billion to say. Then he said he'd cure cancer, and then the next week Sora 3 came out.
Yeah,
and we were like, oh, okay.
Which side note? No, we always end up talking about AI.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
So fun fact for all my fellow generative AI haters out there. So I can't remember. Was it Toei or Shueisha? It was one of the two, like the biggest company in Japan that owns the IP rights for One Piece, Dragon Ball, My Hero, like all the big shows. Essentially told OpenAI and Sora, like, if you don't crack down on these things generating things with our intellectual property, we're going to take legal action because we did not authorize this for use in your generative AI, and you need to stop and crack down on that. And then there was a different place, I don't remember where, I just saw it on Twitter, so God only knows if it's real, was they're cracking down on using like real likenesses in generative AI, which I think is also like it's really bad. Like maybe let's not generate videos of the president. I mean, guys, I know generating videos of Trump doing kickflips is funny, but like there's a negative side to that coin as well that maybe we shouldn't have.
Yes, maybe I do laugh at Stephen Hawking at the X Games. That's kind of funny.
Maybe I do laugh at Bob Ross cranking 90s in Fortnite. But we never stop to ask if we should do it.
It's kind of like when your kid says something like really terrible and you're like, that's hilarious. Never do that again.
That's hilarious. Do not swear in my presence again.
Yes. It's like, yeah, maybe MLK in the boxing ring is not okay at all. But like, it was a little funny. Gosh.
So
anyway, we always do this.
We always get on AI.
This is
that's
why
all
we
I have.
don't
I have like
this is why we don't
nothing
hit
else
our
from
marks.
this week. Oh, that's not
right.
true. I got the new Hyrule Warriors game, but more to come on that on the next episode. Hopefully, assuming the schedule holds. So I will make you wait 2 more weeks.
Little tease.
That. So
okay,
Q&A.
So
lots of
guys,
questions. Where
Nick,
do you want to start?
like to give me a little explanation on like why we decided to do another Q&A episode?
So, for one, bringing in user-submitted stuff was really fun when we did the Hot Takes episode. I think that was probably one of the most fun episodes we've done this whole year.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like doing that. But also, this episode comes out, I think, a day late. Because the 9th is on Sunday. 6-year anniversary of the podcast, which is crazy.
Congratulations.
I've been going back and listening to some of the older, like, early episodes, and, like, the production quality was not
brutal. It's brutal.
But I also went back and listened to, like, do you remember the episode we did at Hollywood Studios?
Oh my gosh.
And talking about that.
Much fun.
It was so fun. I'm like, we need to do a sequel.
I got to do that again.
Do it again. Run it back.
We could do it way better. I'll bring the Rode Wireless Go, and we could just like talk about that.
That's the kind of episode we need to do at my wedding.
That's so true.
Where it's like just live, just record the audio and then put it out later.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I want to do more Q&A episodes next year. Even maybe getting to a point where we have like a Q&A section every episode and just like pull questions for that. So if you guys are listening, start dropping questions every episode, and we'll start compiling them and doing like a Q&A, because we're looking to maybe tweak the format a little bit next year. Shake it up. You don't do a podcast for 6 years and not like shake it up. You know what I'm saying?
We also just like love. It feels less like we're talking to a void when it's like the people get to interact. Like, so we love user generated content, and we just also like want to create things that you guys want to hear. And so just simply opening up the floor, like, what do you want to hear? Like, what do you want us to talk about? So if you ever have an episode or an idea or a movie, you're like, hey, I really want you to talk about that, please let us know, because we're super open to pretty much anything. And we're just really, because 6 years in, you get a little creative with your
gotta get a little
topics.
Get a little crazy.
So happy birthday, Nerdiest Podcast.
6 years old.
Where would you like to start?
I only have 5 questions on Twitter. If you want to just like kind of blitz through those real quick. and then we can go through our Instagram.
I have some Instagram ones too.
Have not been on Instagram in months.
Congratulations.
So I don't know.
Really...
Apparently I'm missing like my friends' life things because I'm not on social media. But that's irrelevant anyway.
That happens.
So
let me hear it.
I'm going to read out titles for everything that's on Twitter and YouTube because those are public, but Instagram, kind of like last time, I think we just leave it anonymous because it's how Instagram goes. Yeah. So here we go. We got some good ones. They're not a lot on Twitter, but they were good. So from Aka, what is the best way to discern on what is okay to watch? I'm assuming from a Christian standpoint, Christian perspective. I talk about this in my videos a lot, but I want to know what you think about that.
Well, one, I really do like this question. I would love to hear what you have to say. Like, as someone, as like a consistent commentator on this topic, I'm curious on what your thoughts are in an echo chamber.
So, for me, because I get this question a lot, just being a Christian who covers anime, a lot of people are like, well, how do you figure it out? How do you discern it? And I talked about it in my Why Christians Should Watch video that I put out a couple months ago. But my usual thing is like, there are some broader categories that you can like watch out for, like fan service, right? Like if that's something that bothers you, don't watch it. Excessive violence, nihilism, like these kind of things that are more overarching that you should watch out for. But then there are certain things that I think are very personal. Like the level of violence in Attack on Titan doesn't bother me, but it might bother someone else. So there is a level of like, I can say I think Christians should watch Attack on Titan for XYZ, but if you feel like, oh, the level of violence bothers me, or I feel like it's discouraging me or leading me astray from my walk, then absolutely don't watch it. Like there is a personal level of responsibility to that too. Like don't just take my word for it. Like just because I say K-pop Demon Hunters is the greatest thing since sliced bread, like obviously don't just take my opinion on it, because there are other personal factors and there is a personal discernment and a personal responsibility even to like hold yourself accountable. Because I can say like, oh, I love My Dress Up Darling, it's a great anime, I love the story and all that, but there is a lot of fan service in it, and that, you know, some people struggle with that. So I think it's very much you can take recommendations, but you also have to use your own personal discernment. And if you really feel like it's not like really like it's better to be safe than sorry. So if you feel like you're on the fence and you can't really decide which way to go, I would err on the side of caution. So, and I've done that. There have been a handful of romance anime where I'm like, I'm on episode 3 and I feel like this ain't doing anything for me. Like, so I've just dropped them because I'm like, it's not worth it.
Right. I think that's really good. I was thinking about this question, and something that my wife says all the time, because she's awesome, is she's like, no one is forcing you to watch anything. She's like, no one has ever put a gun to your head and say, watch this show. She's like, there is no pressure at all to watch something. So if something makes you uncomfortable, don't watch it. And so it's very much like, but that's so hard because there is a social pressure. There is all my friends are watching this. All my the people that I watch on YouTube say this show is great, but I can't get behind it. Like I can't do it. And that feels kind of alienating in a way. And I felt that too as someone that like, I grew up not watching R-rated movies. Like I didn't like the first R-rated movie I saw, I was 17, I think, and I know people that were like, "Oh, I watched this movie at 5. I watched this movie at 7 and 8." And I'm just like, that's fine. Like I'm not dogging on those people in any way, because that was their decision. That was their parents' decision. Like I don't have any context for that. I can't commentate on that. But I think that what a lot of people will see as like a sheltered upbringing and like, oh, you're so homeschooled, you don't know this. And it's like, well, I'm guarding my heart. Like I'm protecting myself, and my parents were so kind to do that for me, because once you lose your innocence, it's gone. Like, there is no, like, recovering of your innocence. And so I think that what you're saying is really good. It's kind of like, if you feel like there's this tug that it's bad, just don't. Because there's no, like, you have nothing to benefit from that. You have absolutely nothing to benefit. And, you know, the people are going to say, even if people are like, oh, but it's so good, like, you in your heart know that's wrong. And so it's like, you don't have to listen to that. And so there's plenty of shows like, I know that, I don't even have an example. I know not to watch, like, freaking 50 Shades of Grey. Like, that's such an obvious example, but it's like, even if someone else is like, oh my gosh, their story is so great, this and that, I'm like, even if that's true, these other things are not enough for me to, like, do that. And it gets hard because, like, I saw Oppenheimer in the theater. Like, I don't want to, like, say, I don't want to be hypocritical, but, like, I saw Oppenheimer in the theater with a group of guys that all agreed we were not going to watch those scenes when they came on. Like, we simply looked away. It is that simple to just look away. And so you have to, like, build that, like, accountability within yourself, but also with other people. And so I think that's, like, kind of where it lands. But yeah, it's a personal discernment thing, and that's a kind of a, like, vague answer, but it's also like if you know your Bible, then you know what you should and shouldn't watch. And then the rest, like, there is an objective, like, the Bible says this is bad and this is what it is, so I'm not going to watch that. And then after that, there is a personal discernment after that, and you can go from there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that answer.
That's a good answer. That's a good question.
Next question from Ashton Batiste. What makes a good superhero story?
This one kind of stumped me a little bit. Because we talk about a lot of superhero movies, and I've been kind of thinking, I haven't really thought about, like, what are we looking for?
I think for me personally, I'll kind of, like, think out loud here.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think a superhero is someone who is supposed to inspire and uplift the people around them and the people that they're serving and that they should save. You think Iron Man, Superman, even, like, in My Hero Academia, like, they're this pillar of hope and light and justice. And it's not, and I think if you dull down, like, a superhero story to include someone like Deadpool, I think you end up watering down and losing the plot on what that should be. So I think what makes a good superhero story is kind of like Superman from this year, where you walk out of the theater feeling like, that has sufficiently inspired me to, like, want to help people, want to be a better version of myself. Like, I left the theater feeling hopeful at the end of the day. And I think that is what makes a good superhero story. Because I think about, like, some of my favorites, like, even, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, I think is a really good superhero movie, but it's also a good story because it's taking these people who were very selfish and self-serving and turning them into people who are not that way. It's the character development of turning them into superheroes that makes it engaging, makes it relatable, because it shows you, like, hey, I'm not a Tony Stark, I'm not a Captain America, I'm not a Superman, but maybe you're a Star-Lord, or maybe you're a Drax. Like, if you essentially put to death your own, like, selfish ambitions, you can be like these other great selfless heroes. And I think that is, and that's kind of the whole, like, My Hero touches on that a lot, because that I think that's my favorite, like, superhero story out of all of them. So I think that's my answer, is, like, it's got to be hopeful, and it's got to, like, push you to be better.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. And what you're touching on that I really thought that I really connect with is the selflessness, because I think that the appeal of a superhero movie, and it's like, well, why have we, why have we connected with Marvel movies for over a decade? Like, why are 2 decades? Like, why do we keep going back? And I think there is this really inherently human thing about being like, I need to be something bigger than myself. And that's really hard. And documenting the struggle of that is very appealing because it's something that's universally relatable. C.S. Lewis said, and this is not a direct quote, but he was like, we long for more from the world because we know that this world is not for us. And so it's kind of like, we know that we need to be something bigger. We long for something more than ourselves. We long to, some of the most unhappy people on the planet are the most selfish ones. And that's kind of like where the Tony Stark story comes in, where it's like he had everything. He was such a billionaire playboy, like he could have anything he wanted. And then when he was brought to his lowest and slowly understood the value of human life in that cave, that's when he was like, oh my gosh, like this is so much bigger than me. And I think that that's what in my heart like really makes me go to a good superhero story. Like Spider-Man he's just a kid, but he wants to do something bigger than himself, and like that young ambition is like really admirable. Or maybe like you said, like maybe you're more of a Captain America, where it's like you have this undying, like unrelenting spirit to like fight, but you like trying to figure out how to channel it in a way. Like, so I think that is for me what makes a good superhero story. Like it needs to really pull me in the direction of like, this is more than me. And it like brings me outside of myself. And that's what the Superman movie did so well.
Yeah. That's good. That was a good answer. I think this next one I can answer. I will say I got a lot of anime ones. I'm not just like playing easy curveball this time where I'm like, oh, okay, it's anime. Only I'll answer. Like you've seen enough anime just on this show that you could come up with an answer. But this one specifically, I don't think you can. From Omri Rice. Is there any anime you like that rivals My Hero currently? And if not, any manga that has the potential of making you feel this way? I'll be quick because I've answered this before. Anime that rivals My Hero, I don't think there is one, because I think of like, which by the way, My Hero Season 8 on a generational run, if they keep up this pace, it will become my favorite TV show of all time. Dethroning Star Wars, The Clone Wars. I know, crazy.
Whoa.
But...
Whoa.
Any anime that rivals My Hero currently, the closest might be Demon Slayer. I don't want to say One Piece, even though I really enjoy One Piece and what I've been watching so far. I just don't like. It's hard to say where that would go anywhere in a top 10 because there's so many episodes. So it's like, is the quantitative 516 episodes I've seen of One Piece better than this like 12 episode romance anime? Like, so just trying to figure out where that fits even. So I don't think there's really an anime that rivals it. And not really a manga either, just because like it's so high up. Like the jump from My Hero to even like Demon Slayer, where I feel about Demon Slayer is a night and day difference. If I had to say like a series that I'm enjoying in the place of not having any more My Hero, especially now that the manga's over and the anime is about to be over by the end of the year, would probably be Dandadan. I love that manga. I love that series. I need to force you to watch it at some point. Yeah. It's on my list of anime for you to watch, but I think that's probably the next one up for me. So, speaking of My Hero from Santiago Flores, what would you consider to be the worst My Hero character, and why do you think it? You've seen the first season, so from what you remember, give me an answer. And if you don't know the character, you can just describe them, and I probably know.
What was the guy?
Well, there's a lot of guys in My Hero, so you're gonna have to be a little more specific.
This is him. Shoto Todoroki.
Shoto Todoroki?
Shoto Todoroki. Hate that guy.
Why? Give me a reason.
I don't know. He's just annoying. He sucks. I'm like, let Deku do his thing. Like, he's just like, that's what. He kind of embodies the like, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. It's like, okay, like you're just a butthole because you're jealous that he can like punch one thing a day. Like, just get better. Like,
okay,
that
wait.
sounds like a skill issue.
Are you talking about Todoroki or are you talking about Bakugo?
Oh, I don't know. Whichever's the guy, whatever's the really mean guy in that show.
Are you talking about the guy who's like got half red hair?
Yeah.
Or the one who's blonde?
No, the one that's got half red hair.
So he's got like half white, half red?
Yeah, and he's like super jealous.
That's Todoroki. But he's not. Well, I'm trying to remember. Like season 1 Todoroki is so different from season 8.
Oh.
Like
whatever
he
the
gets
main
really good.
like antagonist.
Well, that would be Bakugo because he's like
so
the
Bakugo's
childhood bully.
Favorite. Yeah. Bakugo is my least favorite. He sucks.
You know, that's fair. That's
sucks.
real.
Don't hate Deku because he's beautiful.
Stop bullying that kid. He's got dreams, all right?
Pick on someone your own size.
For me, worst character, oh, that's so hard because I have the context of the entire series. Mineta is such an easy answer. I don't want to go with the cop-out. That's everyone's least favorite. I'm trying to think about, like, every time they show up, I can't stand that guy. You know, honestly, probably that one guy from Shiketsu. You have no context on who that is.
Nope.
The wind guy. What was his name? It's like Inasu or something. Actually, no. I take that back. The worst character is probably the most underdeveloped, and that's Magne from the League of Villains because he dies in season 4.
Cool.
Just gets absolutely like obliterated by Overhaul, who is my favorite villain. I love Overhaul. Magne, I wouldn't say worst. I would just say least favorite. In a series where I pretty much love all the characters equally. Well, that's a lie. Okay.
So
lightning
this next
round.
one is a lightning round. Do you want me to do you first, and then you can get me?
Sure.
Or we could We can ping pong if you want.
We can ping pong, or I can just read them and then we just like go quick.
Let's go quick. Okay. Best anime to watch together as a couple. Go.
Either Spy Family or Love is War.
I was literally gonna say the exact same thing. I was like, depends on the mood. Like Spy Family, if it's like, Spy Family is like, oh, very sweet, and then Love is War is more like you know, kind of funny.
Yeah,
but like,
let's be
it's
funny.
more romantic. Yeah. If you weren't nerds, which subculture would you likely be a part of?
Ooh, that's because nerd is such
hard.
an all-encompassing term.
Well, nerd is like an umbrella to like 5,000 subcultures, so it's like that's hard.
So it's like essentially, if you weren't a nerd, what would you be? Definitely not a jock.
Yes,
definitely not going the sports route.
I think that I think I'd probably end up a car guy, just because my dad is a big car guy, and like I think the way that my brain works, like the way that I edit videos and the way that I just like think of stuff, if applied to mechanics, could have worked really well. It's just way too late for me now. Like I'm not smart enough to get there.
I think I definitely would have been a computer geek, like coding and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely would have gone the coding route.
Which is, I'm like, I have like a toe dipped in that pool, but like not even close
Not
to
even
the level
yeah.
that some people I know like.
All right. If you were isekai'd into a piece of fiction tomorrow, what world would you hope to be in?
What does that mean?
Isekai is think Sword Art Online. You go from the real world, you get transported into a fictional world. What fictional world would you want to go to?
That's so tough.
It's so hard. I have so many good answers. You could go Star Wars. You could go Marvel's really just the real world, but like ray tracing.
New York. I'm trying to think because I'm like, like Star Wars is cool, but also like there's like a lot of unrest. So like, would that actually be cool? It's Star Wars. Maybe Ratatouille. I wish France was real.
So you
I
just
would go
move to France.
I would go Lego City.
All right, real. I'm gonna say Friggy Wee Ball. Put me in Demon Slayer. I'll probably die. Because everyone likes to think they're a Tanjiro or Rengoku, but we're all really Zenitsu. Let's be so real.
Yeah, that's true. No, I changed my answer. I'd like to be in the Muppets movie so that I could be part of neighborhood-wide like dance numbers every once in a while.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Good.
Favorite book of the Bible.
Okay, favorite book of the Bible. I'm going Romans.
Okay.
Romans 8 is my favorite chapter of the Bible.
Really?
It's very like, it's kind of complicated because there's like some predestination stuff in there. But there's a lot of it that like connects to my testimony very well that I really like enjoy and just is very comforting. So Romans is my fave.
For me, Revelation all the way.
Whoa.
I love the symbolism and the imagery that's present, and I know there's a lot of debate on like, is it actually is it actually literal or is it metaphorical? Like, I know there's all that stuff, but I think even just the imagery that's present and obviously the comfort that comes after of like, it's okay though because Jesus wins. Like, the Christians win at the end. It's okay. Like, don't worry about it. Which is I guess a controversial take because I tell that to people and they're like, what?
What?
And I'm like, nah, you gotta let me cook. All right, listen.
Also, like, go read it before you get mad.
Yeah, go read it if you can get through it.
Whoa, baby. Most inspiring person in your life?
My mom.
Probably Andrew Tate.
You can't even joke about that.
No, that's not funny. I would definitely. Do
I gotta go Nick Fuentes myself?
I would.
I'm just kidding. That's not my answer's. Still my mom.
Maybe Joe Rogan. I think the greatest podcaster of all time.
Maybe Ben Shapiro.
Most inspiring person in my life. I'll say my dad because he's one of maybe the smartest person I know, and it's horrifically intimidating, but also like overcame a lot and just like the person who he is based on what he was given is God's grace, and that's what I will say about that.
That's kind of how I feel about my mom, just because I got to grow up like watching my mom be this very like fierce single mom who made sure we never went without. And I think that's really cool and really inspiring.
Okay, should we move to Instagram or YouTube?
Do Instagram.
Okay.
Because we are currently 47 minutes in, I'm going to start picking some of the best ones from YouTube and not all of them.
Okay. I got to go to the archive. That's awkward.
That's a good one. I'm saving that one.
Okay. Ready? There's not a ton on here, so don't worry. Out of all the first-party franchises from Nintendo, what is your favorite one?
You already know my answer. I'll let you go first.
Dude, Mario does have a really special place in my heart because I grew up playing Mario games. Yeah, I'm going Mario. Like, really, like, really like boiled chicken take, but I just think that Mario is like the aesthetic is so there.
Why is it a boiled chicken take? That's how you feel. Like,
no, because
I hate that when people are like, "Oh, it's so basic to pick Mario." It's like, yeah, well, you know what? Let me go through my entire backlog on why Mario is the most nostalgic franchise in my life and how it changed my life.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I don't care if you think it's boiled chicken. Like, it's my life. Get off my back.
Yeah.
Jeez, sorry. That's how I feel about New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
No, that's real.
Um,
First party Nintendo favorite Minecraft.
First party Nintendo favorite Monopoly for Nintendo Switch.
Remind me to tell you a really good joke later.
Mine, obviously, Zelda. Like, as much as I love Xenoblade, Zelda's always up there. I was gonna say I have day one to every Zelda game, but that's not true. I don't know. I just love Zelda, and there was something so fascinating about this because I was talking to one of my coworkers about this because he also really loves Mario, but he was talking about how like when we were kids, there was a very clear split. You were either a Mario kid or you were a Zelda kid, and you have stuck that path your entire life. And I was like, oh, that's so strange because he like loves Mario Galaxy, he loves Galaxy 2. Right. I love Breath of the Wild, Ocarina of Time, Skyward Sword, like. And then I keep trying to get him to play a Zelda game. He's like, no, I can't do it. I don't like that style of game. And then he got me to buy Galaxy 2, and now I'm like 3 hours in. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do it. Like,
that's wild.
I can't finish this game. It's so
What's wrong with it? I
can't do it. Okay, hot take time. It's not fun.
It's not
like,
fun?
It's not
How?
fun. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's motion controls or if it's just me. I'm on World 3, and I'm like, I have had no desire to continue the game. Like,
Dang.
Without feeling like I'm forcing myself to sit down and finish it. And, like, even like Donkey Kong Bonanza, I love that game. That game was so fun. I was like, man, I wish I had more time to sit down and play Donkey Kong, right? Even like Metroid Prime, I'm not a huge fan of the Metroidvania, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give Metroid Prime a chance. I'm having fun with it so far. But Galaxy 2, I'm like, I can't. It's too similar to Galaxy, which I understand is like what you come to expect because it's got the big 2 on the box.
Right.
So you think like, oh, it's just more of Galaxy. But I was like, I really liked Galaxy. Like, I thought that was fun. But I think it's because I liked it enough to play it once. I don't want to play it again.
Back. Yeah, but you didn't grow up on it. Like,
no, I didn't.
There's a nostalgia factor to it, and I think it's maybe the best video game soundtrack of all time.
You know, that's fair. That's not to say I don't like Mario at all, because I love Mario Kart, I love Mario Party, I love the 2D Mario games, like the platformers. I love 3D World, like Mario and Luigi, love it. But the like 3D Mario games, can't do it. I don't know what it is. I can't. I was like not a huge fan of Odyssey either.
Wow. Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario World for the SNES, like put it in my veins.
Mario Wonder. I don't know why I heard World and then
Mario Wonder. I
heard World and it translated to Wonder. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, ready? Favorite princess and why?
Oh. My fiance listens to this, so I have to be careful.
I'm going Princess Diana.
Whoa! I guess it doesn't say Disney princess.
It doesn't say Disney. It doesn't have to be, see? Princess Peach, Princess Zelda.
Hold on. Now I have to broaden my... I was like so pigeonholed on Disney princess.
Yeah.
Now I got to think.
Fictional princesses. Oh, dude. Princess Leia?
Ooh. I need to fact check something real quick.
List of fictional princesses. Thank you, Wikipedia. What would we do without you?
I don't think she is. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
I have chosen my favorite princess. I have decided my favorite princess is Princess Fiona from Shrek.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, she's a little old. I didn't know that.
She's a little old. Or the Princess Bride.
Okay, so if you're the daughter of the emperor, that would make you a princess, yes?
Sure.
Oh, it says princess right there. Lol. Okay, now I gotta choose. Oh, I'm stuck between two. This is
not
hard.
That deep.
This is a hard question.
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna stick with Princess Fiona. That is Shrek is one of those movies that like has been a consistent in me and Amy's relationship, and we just like love Shrek so much. So, not to say that Princess Fiona makes me think of my wife.
I mean, I feel like that's going to influence both of our answers.
But she does, but like not in that one. I can't say the Ogre Queen reminds me of my wife. That's just not good.
Listen, here's the thing. I'm going to go with Princess Melia Antiqua from the hit game series Xenoblade Chronicles. All my Xenoblade fans, I feel you.
Shout out.
It's hard. It was like a really tough between her and Zelda, because I do love Zelda, especially in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Because like I'm playing through Hyrule Warriors, and I'm like, she's such a nerd.
She's a
like,
girl boss.
She's such a nerd, and like, you know what? I'm here for it. So, but I'm gonna go with Melia. She's underrated.
All right.
Pick.
Good choice. Why do they call it oven when you oven the cold food and of out the hot food?
What?
We're just gonna skip that one.
Why do they put circle pizza in a square box and cut it into triangles? I don't know, because that's just how somebody decided to do it one day. Why do you park in the driveway and drive in the parkway?
That's what I was gonna say. Here's another one. When are we getting the wives special guest episode?
When I get married. I have to have a wife first.
Listen,
that's one of the clear conditions.
What I will say, on top of what Nick said, is sooner than you think, and that is my answer.
I don't think that's how that works.
No, but
I mean, I know what you mean, but like,
no, you're alluding. I'm alluding to something that you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
We
move on.
What other podcasts do you guys listen to?
That number has dwindled down to from like 5 to 1 in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I used to listen to like the Overthinkers, Anime Out of Context, the Tomorrowland Transit Authorities, and the Nintendo Byte podcast. And now I really only find myself listening to the Nintendo Byte podcast because here's the thing. Their episodes are like 5 hours long. I've also guested on there before. Like, right. So I've been on there, but I also like the content that they make because as someone who's into Nintendo, like I feel like it gives me that like Nintendo fix. And I've kind of stopped watching like the daily Nintendo news videos, and I'm just summarize the news for me. Like everything that's major I've already caught on Twitter anyway. So I like Nintendo Byte, and I guess I also on occasion listen to my church does a podcast where they kind of like go dive deeper into the sermon and break that down. So like on occasion I'll listen to that too. I used to listen to the Tomorrowland Transit Authorities, but then they just stopped uploading and have not said anything since March.
Dude, high key, I used to listen to a ton of podcasts, and then all my favorite podcasts fell off the planet. You
used to listen to Genre Geeks, and then they disappeared. I don't know what happened to them.
R.I.P. Genre Geeks.
I hate it when podcasts just disappear. Like, guys, I promise you that if we ever just had to stop doing the show, we will let you know.
Right.
And not leave you in this weird state of limbo. Like, because if we had to stop, I'd be like, we're going on hiatus until further notice, or we're just done. This is the final episode.
Right.
Like, we're not just going to up and disappear. I promise.
Because, like, there was a really good, really funny podcast I loved called Church Stories that kind of disappeared, and, like, all the hosts are kind of doing bigger, better things now, but I'll always love Church Stories. I listened to Genre Geeks was a favorite. I'd Like a Refund was a favorite. And then they all just kind of, they just fizzle out. And that's okay because podcasting is like kind of a full-time job.
Yeah.
But, I get it. So yeah, my podcast consumption is a lot lower than it was. If you could be any Disney character that is an animal, who would it be?
They have to be an animal?
It has to be an animal. I would be Robin Hood. Cause
oh,
I'm
that's boo.
I'm
That's such a cheap answer.
Okay, fine. I'll go again. I would be Goofy.
That's even worse.
That's even cheaper? Okay, what do you want from me?
I'm talking like an actual animal, like Bambi.
Oh my gosh.
You don't get to pick like the weird humanoid. They'd be like, oh, I'd be Nick Wilde. Yeah, okay, buddy. That's like you're just a human, but you look like an animal.
He's hot.
Whoa. All right, buddy. Calm down.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Disney animals.
You're
I
not
would be
beating
Mickey
the furry
Mouse.
allegations, man.
I would be Mickey Mouse because I'm power
Pick
hungry.
an actual animal.
I would be Bolt from
there you
the movie
go.
Bolt.
That's an animal right there.
I would be Bolt from the movie Bolt.
I would be Pascal from Tangled.
That's good.
Because it's such a vibe. I'm in it. Like,
that is a good vibe.
What a good character.
When are you going to start using DaVinci? You know who this is directed at.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Whoa. Good update. Good update.
I'm in there, all right? I'm using DaVinci.
He's there. Jeez.
That was so forceful. When are you going to start using DaVinci?
You know who this is directed at. Can you watch and review any episodes on Gallivant?
On what?
Do you know what Gallivant is?
Nope.
It was a... So it's a musical comedy show that takes place in medieval times.
Oh, that sounds really interesting, actually.
And so it was on ABC and got really good reviews. There's only 2 seasons. So it is a fairy tale themed musical comedy which ran from 2 seasons from 2015 to 2016.
Oh.
So I'm not opposed. I think there could be some interesting conversations there.
I'm interested in that. I'm not opposed.
So yeah, that's the end of our Instagram submissions. So
all
thank
right.
you to all our Instagram listeners.
I will go through my YouTube community
YouTubes.
tab, and then we'll end on our YouTube community tab.
Mm-hmm.
So, first question. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yep. I picked the 6 best ones. So, from lo-fi_NJB, for the rest of your life, you have to view the world through the art style of an anime of your choosing. Which will it be? That's a good question. Like, what would I want the world to look like?
I'm thinking like a Miyazaki film.
Okay, so Studio Ghibli.
I'm going like My Neighbor Totoro.
Okay.
Because I just like that style is just so beautiful. Like he can interpret color and light in a way that just no other artist can. Maybe like Thomas Kincaid, but like, that's a whole nother medium.
Yeah, that's good. This is a good question.
I don't want to be like Demon Slayer,
All right, well, man,
it would look good, but
I was getting there. All right. Way to make me feel bad about myself.
No, it's
Thanks.
fine. I mean, we've already established you can have boiled chicken takes. Like it's just.
I think I gotta go with the one like anime that I've always praised the art style and the direction for, and that's Makoto Shinkai.
Yeah, a little Weathering with You.
Yeah, I think
name.
That's the vibe I would go for because the colors are so vibrant and everything's so beautiful and like crafted very well.
And it's like realism, so like you could see how the world would look.
Right. And you don't feel like everybody's got angled chins and like weird noses and stuff. So
yeah, good word.
All right, another good one for you. If you are a lawyer and had to defend any fictional villain in court, They have to have a decent chance of acquittal. Who are you picking, and what is your argument?
This is so good.
This is a really good question.
We need to do an entire episode on this.
I'm going to add it to the idea sheet.
High key, if we just chose the right story and like did like a full courtroom scene and like you had to defend one and then the other, like someone else was on the other side, it'd be so much fun. Gosh, this is hard. Because it needs to be like essentially a villain that has a really good point. You know?
Yeah, someone who's like, hold on. He had a point. Ooh, okay. I have an answer, but I don't know if that like fully counts.
Okay.
As him being a villain. I was going to say Kronk. I would defend that man till the day I die. Like he did not know what he was signing up for. All right. Your Honor, he was an accomplice, yes. Did he aid and abet Yzma in her evil scheme and dispose of what he thought was a dead body? Yes. However, he's just a silly little guy. All right?
Yeah.
Your Honor, motion to dismiss. Like,
you know what?
He's not a bad guy. He just had a bad boss. All right? And I mean, listen, if we all had the wrong boss, I'd dispose of a dead body too.
Right. Like, you obey who was cutting the check. Like,
yeah, as long as the check's coming through, you're like, I don't know what was in the bag. Like, I couldn't tell you.
So, I have a couple options. Obvious choice, the Wicked Witch of the West. But that's like the whole point of Wicked is to.
Are you basing that on Wicked or the Wizard of Oz?
Wicked. Like if you like, that's the point though. So that's not fair. You know what I'm doing? I like. Maybe weird for me to choose this because it kind of goes against everything I believe. I'm defending Chef Skinner from Ratatouille because if you stop for like 5 minutes and think about what was actually happening there, you realize he's were rats in the kitchen, and that's in the movie. The restaurant gets shut down. Like, he was right. He
just didn't want rats in his kitchen.
He was like, hey, there's rats in the kitchen. That's gross.
He's trying to make sure they pass their
the health inspection. Like, he called the health inspector. He did nothing wrong. Like, he was, and then they gaslit him to think he was crazy. Like, also maybe Syndrome from The Incredibles. He had an interesting case.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Maybe Thanos.
You know what? Mr. Waternoose from Monsters, Inc.
Yes.
He just said he would kidnap 1,000 children before he let that company die. He didn't actually do it.
That's a really good question.
Which, here's the thing. Hold on. Let's unpack this for a second because I just rewatched Monsters, Inc. a couple weeks ago. He didn't actually do anything. So why did they arrest him? Like, did they arrest him because he was associated with Randall and knew about the whole Scream Stealer thing and how that was
I guess he was an accomplice,
a bad practice.
But also he was the top of the totem pole at the company, so he was pretty much over it,
right? Know? And I mean, they got him on implication that he's well, I'm going to kidnap 1,000 children, I love that. I love the way that was memed. And he's like, but kidnapping children, I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die. I'm like,
so
whoa.
Bad. It's so bad. All right, what's next?
All right.
That was a next question. I would do that might be a whole episode. That's a great question.
From username is 7. What's your favorite scene in all of anime? So all of the anime you've watched, what's the thing that stuck out to you the most?
Dude, what's that one episode? This immediately came to mind. That one episode of Demon Slayer where I sent you the 8-minute Marco Polo of me crying.
Oh, yeah. The episode 19, Hinokami Kagura?
Yeah. I don't even remember what happened.
Where he is using the sun breathing for the first time?
Yes.
Yeah.
That might be the most beautifully animated scene I've ever seen in my life. Like, absolutely incredible.
That's fair. My favorite scene, that's so hard. Because I've watched so much more anime.
Uh-huh.
I think it's gotta be from My Hero. It's the there's so many good ones. I'm gonna go with the one that kind of sold me on My Hero in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that's season 2. I don't remember the episode, but it's when Deku is fighting Todoroki. Basically that whole episode, but like the end of that fight at the sports festival. Like the whole episode really sold me on like anime, but also My Hero, but like the end of that fight where they're like really going at it. That's good.
Okay. Good word. Good word.
How do I pronounce that? Epitome Eon 6913 says, if you could make your own manga/anime, what would it be about?
Dude, the Nerdiest podcast manga. It would just be us. Like it's
a slice of life.
Slice of life podcasters just trying their best, you know. Also slaying demons at the same time.
Slaying demons with our podcast.
Well,
it's just
also sealing the golden Hanmoon.
A-pod demon slayers.
Yeah. That's not copyrighted.
No.
We have the full rights to that.
Because you see, we took Demon Slayer and we put an S at the end. So it's
Slayers. Yeah. No, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
For me, I have a lot of different ideas that I don't want to put on the internet, but because I actively like try to do that kind of stuff. I don't know. I think just doing like something that blends romance, slice of life, and action in a better way than like modern shonen, where like, yeah, My Hero has this slice of life stuff where they're at the school, but it's mainly a battle shonen where you're like, oh, well, we're here for the fights. I think finding something that could like blend that together would be really good. So next up from Lo-Fi NJB, I think this is a repeat question. Oh, repeat person.
Oh,
another good question. You may have answered this before, but what's your favorite Western movie and TV series? Let me clarify. Western as in American, not Western as in...
I was like
cowboys. Because we've gotten this question before, and you thought it meant like Western. So you were like, oh,
I was like Clint Eastwood?
Maybe Cowboy Bebop? And I'm like, no. You haven't even seen Cowboy Bebop.
That's funny. I'm going Severance.
Okay, like a movie in Severance. For me, Western movie. Oh, okay, so that knocks out Weathering with You. I think it's Emperor's New Groove and Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Good choice. Good choice.
All right, last question on YouTube, but my favorite. Amazing. We saved the best for last here. For a week, you must eat pumpkin-based foods. But as a reward, you can change or add anything you want from base Minecraft. Would you do it? And I'm going to add, what would you change?
Yes, I absolutely would. Pumpkin's not that bad. I could do it.
No, you think like pumpkin pie?
Oh, yeah. Pumpkin soup?
Pancakes.
Dude, pumpkin soup, pumpkin
spice latte.
Dude, easy. That's all the food groups.
Actual pumpkins.
You know, that's all the major food groups.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to think of what I would change because I feel like I constantly have like issues with modern Minecraft, but I can't like pinpoint it to one thing.
I know exactly what I would change.
What are you changing?
Well, I would eat the pumpkin stuff. Mine is such a specific thing.
What are you changing?
I would add the tree capitator mod as part of base Minecraft, where if you use an axe and you cut down the bottom piece of wood, the whole tree comes down.
Whole tree's coming down.
Whole tree's coming down.
Yeah. No, that's
Say
fair.
less. I played a couple servers with that. it's so hard to go back to base Minecraft. I'm like, what, what do you mean I have to get all the way up there and dig it? No.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I don't know if this is cheating. I would eat the pumpkin and then I would just revert it to like 1.12 and then just call it a day and be like, yeah, this is it.
What is the cutoff for that? Like what?
So
what was 1.12?
So 1.9, I believe, was the end update. And that's when you get elytras. That's when you go to those things. And then after that, I think 1.10 or 11 was the Nether update, if I'm not mistaken. So that's when they updated the end, and then they updated the Nether. And then I think like 1.12 was when Notch was leaving Minecraft. And so they were like, yeah, we added polar bears, and that's pretty much it. And so I'm like,
remove the combat update from the game.
Can we just like...
Am I wrong for that?
Can we remove the dependency on villagers?
No.
Like,
no.
We don't
permanent.
need them.
No. Indentured servants in my basement, 24/7.
Yeah, but like
365.
Yeah, but they're different now. They're different now, though.
No,
like,
I get that.
Just,
but like,
okay,
still.
no, I have a new answer. I would eat the pumpkin and then never see a wandering trader ever again. That's my answer.
That's good. That's good.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right.
Here's our final 4 questions from our loyal Nerdiest Podcast YouTube listeners / watchers. Miss Musical Dreams 1 said, what projects / dreams for the channel are you most excited to start / pursue?
Do you want to do this just for the podcast, or do you want to include like our own channels too?
I think we can include our own, like just like in general.
Okay.
I think like...
You want to go first?
I think for the podcast,
I talk first.
I think for the podcast, the dream, and we've talked about it for years to the point where like it's kind of a meme in itself.
Hot Tub Podcast.
I forgot about Hot Tub Podcast. Someday it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're gonna do Hot Tub Podcast. No, I was gonna say we've always wanted to do the Nerdiest Podcast movie. And we always wanted to do like a full-length, like 90-minute film where we played ourselves trying to start a podcast. And it was like, it was in a brainstorming phase. There was an outline phase at one point. Like, it would just be the biggest thing we've ever done. And so it would be a lot of work. But I think that is the dream. I also think, like, for me personally, like, I mean, I just love doing movie commentary. I just love, talking about stuff I want. So I think that the dream for my channel would be like I get to just continue to talk about whatever I want, and that the audience cares enough to still be there, even if I, aren't just talking about one thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. For the podcast, it's something I don't know if I want to put out there yet, just because I know we're still like in the early brainstorming session of whether or not we're going to do it.
You can say it. I don't care.
Okay. I really want to do a TNP D&D campaign.
Yeah.
But like really highly produced, think like not necessarily the level of Critical Role. But like just something that's a little short. Like it could be like 8 to 10 episodes of just this D&D campaign, and it's just the two of us and a DM, and you work with that. Because Jackson's never played D&D, but I've done a full campaign and a lot of different stuff. So I just think that would be really fun, and it would be a great way for us to be ourselves, but also like hit this other like key nerd demographic. So if that's something you guys would like to see, drop a comment down below.
We gotta know.
Yeah, that's for the podcast. For me personally, I think, not that it matters, but I really would love to surpass the Lego Maniacs at 18,000 subscribers, which the crazy thing is it's still going up. Like it just hit 18K this week, and I haven't uploaded in like 2 years. So like trying to surpass trying to surpass myself, with a, hit Ninjago music video that has 7.3 million views. I'm like, I'm never going to surpass myself. It's never going to happen. Like,
that's so funny.
So I think just trying to find a balance, and I'm working on this for next year, of I want to make the content that I want to make because I feel like that's what I want to make, and not necessarily feel like, okay, well, I need to line up a One Piece video to come out here and, you know, put a different One Piece video there and do My Hero here and Demon Slayer there. Like, and just really get like deeper into the content and deeper into the video and research them more and make the scripts better. Because I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm a little like samey in a way.
Yeah.
And I just want to break that and shake that off. So I'm working on that for next year. But I think that's my answer for that. That's a good question.
That is a really good question. Next up, Caroline Cooper said, what is the best Christian messaging you've seen in a not explicitly Christian project? This is what we specialize in. This is our bread and freaking butter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that any musical Broadway fans out there, Les Mis is my take for the best Christian, non-Christian media. And my wife put me on this, and we're going to go see it next year. We're very excited. But I think I've seen the movie, and it's very good. But, I mean, it's just like a depiction of grace and forgiveness, just in a level that I've never seen in another movie or story in any way. Similarly, I would say The Hunchback of Notre Dame, another Victor Hugo story, just shows like redemption and grace, and it shows lust and like beauty and all these things. Like, it just, like, Victor Hugo was very good at creating these like creating these worlds that talked about like the deadly sins in like, and it's like in the Catholic Church like technically, but it's like really, really solid, holds up, and like these stories are so popular now, and it's like, I wish you understood why you connected to this so well. So yeah, that's my choice.
That's fair. If I had to pick two, I'll also go two. I'll do a TV show and a movie. I'm gonna go with Demon Slayer. I actually did a whole video about Demon Slayer and how I think if you look at it from the lens of the demons, which the demons in Demon Slayer aren't really demons, they're more akin to like vampires.
Yeah.
They're not demons in the same way like Freerin portrays demons as like these evil monsters that are irredeemable, like whatever. But I think what I talked about in the video was, if you look at Demon Slayer from a perspective of the demons are sinful people who have just made bad decisions, because like that's the distinction that the show tries to make, is there are actual demons who this is their life, this is what they love killing people, they love eating people, like no remorseful qualities about it. But then you see these other ones like Rui and Daki and Gyutaro, who are like just people who made bad decisions and got lured down the wrong path by Muzan. And I think there's a very clear parallel to, like, that's what happens to people. Like, people just get led down the wrong path by Satan, and like they're not irredeemable, but also like they can repent and come back, but they also still have to, like, there are still consequences for the actions that they've done. And if you look at the demon slayers themselves as like an allegory for the Christian who stands firm on what they believe, they don't, especially with Rengoku. That was the one that I like really pulled in the parallel, was like this person who, even in the face of like absolute death, right? Even before he got like, you know, donutted through the chest and like lost an eye and a lung and all this stuff, like he stayed true to his beliefs the entire time and was like, no, I will not become a demon. And I compared that to like Christians who face persecution in other countries, right? Where it's convert or die. And they're like, no, I would rather die than cave on my beliefs. And I think there's a lot of other good stuff in there in Demon Slayer. The other one I will say is Star Wars. I think Star Wars has a ton of Christian imagery, if you really like look into it, specifically with the dynamic of Anakin and his fall to the dark side, but then coming back, and the redemptive like qualities that has, and how it portrays redemption as like no one's ever really gone. But then there are like genuinely evil people like Emperor Palpatine who manipulate and connive. But then you also have, you know, your Ben Solos who are like, it was out of fear and anger that I turned this other way.
Right.
And even if you just look at like the light side and the dark side, there's a lot of stuff there that I could spend years talking about. So also, I'm glad that neither of us picked K-pop.
I was
because that was like such a easy like first answer. I'm so glad we did not just go. K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop Demon Hunters, and it was literally about to be like, not to mention K-pop Demon Hunters, which is, but like.
It's
more.
also
like,
really new, so we gotta branch out a little
it's
bit.
On the brain. 2 questions left. Samantha Glass 2797 said, "What favorite guest you've ever had?"
Okay, let me think back.
You're a lot more with the guests.
When we say guests, I'm assuming we're also including like when Logan comes on, Gavin comes on, like anyone who's not the two of us.
Yes.
That's hard.
So here's the thing.
We've had a lot of good guests.
I was thinking about this because I saw this question yesterday, and I was transported back to the early days when we would hop on Late Night with Genre Geeks and go off on a movie. And for those who don't know, Genre Geeks, they were this really awesome podcast. And I don't really know what they're doing now. We haven't kept up super well. I might send them a message just to catch up. But we were like, we had this really good dynamic where like we would go on their show and they would come on our show. And like AJ was so like, I just will never forget. Like I was on a cross country road trip with my dad. I was a senior in high school and I was at this Arby's in Arizona, and you sent me a text that was like, we got name dropped on Genre Geeks, and they were talking about how they felt really old listening to our show because we were talking about growing up with Blue's Clues. And they were like, oh my gosh, we're so old. Like, how old are these people? And I just remember, like, I don't think that they realized at the time how, like, important that was to me and how big of a deal that was for, like, just a punk kid who was like somewhat new to podcasting, like just like trying to find footing. Like, I don't think they realized that like that was so impactful for me to be like, someone else knows that I exist, is listening to what we're creating and cares enough to interact and wants to talk to me. And so it was like the first time I felt like a real person acknowledged what we were doing. And I don't think they realized how impactful that was for such a young Jackson. And so just like, and even he was so kind. Like AJ was so kind to go see Sonic 2 in the theater and then come talk to some punk kids about it. Like that, like he had kids of his own. Like he was a dad, like a new dad. And he had his own show and he had a real job. And, you know, the fact that he took the time to come on our show and talk about those movies, I don't think that I realized how big of a deal that was back then, and I don't think he realized how big of a deal that was for us. So AJ, if you're out there, Genre Geeks, if you're out there, we love you guys and we miss you dearly.
That's such a good answer. Mine's not that deep.
That's okay. I also love when Logan came on and we did the poorly described movies. That was 3
such a
hours.
good episode. Let me think about some of like our best guest episodes. I think any of the ones with Logan are really good.
Yeah.
You know, for what it's worth, our episodes with Megan were really good. even if just for conversation and comedy value.
Yes.
Like I went back and I listened to some of them and I'm like, the dynamic of the three of us was really funny because you guys would gang up on me all the time.
Yeah.
Like, listen to this guy crackpot talking about Breath of the Wild 2 again. Like,
yeah.
So I think those were good. I really loved, like, it's weird to say guest, but like anytime Colin comes on, because he was like, you know, the other founding person of the podcast.
Right.
But I think if I had to pick one, it would be Logan, because I always think back to that second Pixar tier list we did, and then the what was the other episode we did with him? It was like What We've Been Watching Volume 2.
I forgot about that.
Because it was right before the Thor Love and Thunder episode. And then we brought him back to do the Pixar tier list a couple months later. And then he was on that one episode you guys did earlier this year. We did the Poorly Described.
Really
I just feel like those are always such fun episodes. And those are some of my favorites. I know I've missed like a niche guest. And I well, I guess that's getting into the next question.
And we love all our guests. We love all our guests. No, that's sweet. I think that's true. Final answer, Mary Glass F9J. Are there any special guests or other people that y'all want on the show now or in the future? So give me like who do you think, and then be like in a million years dream guest that you would like never actually get, but like, they'd be crazy.
So I think it would be really cool because I'm thinking about like guests we're thinking about for next year.
Yeah.
I would really love to talk to the Gabriel and the Guardians people.
Yeah, they're cool.
And just talk to them. I don't want to say frequent contact, but I like it. It's easy for me to be like, hey, do you guys want to come on an episode? Like, it's not like super far out there. I think more, and I know this leans more into like my side of the anime stuff, but there are a lot of really good anime content creators who I think even are just nerds outside of that, who anime is their specialty, but they would be willing to come back and talk about that kind of stuff. There's a couple like Nintendo YouTubers I've wanted to invite to whenever the opportunity arises, because I know we don't talk about games as much anymore.
Right.
Trying to think about what I've put on our list of like guests.
I'm really interested in talking to. I guess I'm interested in talking to people that are doing similar things. Where it's like if you're on that small town content creator grind, then like I feel like we can universally relate to what's going on, because we've all been up late editing that video so that it could go out on time. Like we've been there, so I think like I follow a ton of like small creators on Instagram and YouTube that I'm like, I would just love to like just pick your brain because I think you're so cool. And it's so funny because these are just like people. Like they're just people. Like it's not that scary. But there's a lot of really interesting people that I've listened to on podcasts. I love this YouTuber named Chase Bridges, where he does like, he's gotten really popular in the last few years. He's awesome. Where he watches mystery shows but records himself after every episode trying to predict what's going to happen. And he does like a whole cork board. And he's super cool. I'm watching I love Zeke Tucker on Instagram. He's a designer and he's like a big Disney nerd. I love that. I've been watching Jared Winkler on YouTube for a while. He's done some really cool lifestyle stuff, and I watched his vlog series years ago and it was really cool. So anyway, those are just a few random names that I'd throw to the wind that I'd be
never
like,
in a million years.
Cool, but never in a million years.
My mind instantly goes to like anime voice actors.
Yeah.
I would love to like, I think my ideal, like, if I got this interview, even just for like 20 minutes as a segment, I would be like so accomplished. Vic Mignogna, who voices Edward in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's like kind of what he's known for. Yeah. But has done a ton of other stuff. But he's also a Christian, so I like would love to just like sit down and pick his brain of like what is it like being a Christian in the anime dubbing space. Like what is that? Like that. What is your experience with that? What niche. Is that like? Yeah. So that, and then obviously, you think like Chris Pratt, like, the big times, like,
right.
So really anyone like at the next level, but hey, who knows? Maybe the podcast blows up and we get to the point where we can do that.
Who's to say? Yeah. Good work. Well, unless you have anything else to add.
Do you not have a like never in a million years pick?
That's so hard because I'm like, Chris Pratt's a really good one. I mean, like, Steve Martin is, like, my favorite actor, but, like, there's that. I think I would love, even thinking, like, smaller, a little more realistic, like, I'd love to talk about anyone that worked on The Chosen, I think would be a really interesting conversation. Anyone that worked on a show like Digital Circus would be a really interesting conversation. I'm also interested in like small business owners, like people that are like, hey, I've been doing videography for this for years. Like I'm just interested in like people's creative philosophies, and like how that interacts with their everyday. But like big people is harder for me. But I guess
what
like
do
Chris
we gotta
Pratt,
do?
like,
what do we gotta do to land an interview with JD Vance? I want to know what his top 5 movies are. Listen, 2028 election comes up when everybody starts doing their touring
their
again.
podcast tour.
We get both candidates, and we're like, all right, what is your? I need to know. Our audience needs to know your top 5 movies so we can decide whether or not you'd be a good president or not. Because obviously that's the metric that you base. Political decisions on.
Right. Which, like, the worst they can say is no. Like, shoot an email and be like, hey, you could interview here for free if you want.
For free. Give me a half hour of your time. That's all I'm saying.
And, we'll just talk about movies. No
policy online, too. Don't even got to pay Secret Service. We'll just get you on Discord. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You can make a burner account.
And there's not even, like, any policy. We just want to talk about movies.
Yeah, we just want to give me, like... we all know J.D. Vance grew up playing Halo. Like, what's your favorite Halo game? Like,
and why is it Reach? Like,
and why were you an Xbox guy and not a Wii guy? Like, why the 360? Why not the Wii? Thoughts on the Xbox Series X?
Really trap him. What do you think about Game Pass closing down?
Closing down. Will your administration be enforcing Game Pass? Will everything be an Xbox?
Now, Mr. Vance, in this current global economy, we are currently looking at a shutdown and a bit of that. So, big economy problems, gas is high, groceries are high, government is shut down. And also, the price of games are really high, and Game Pass is shutting down. So what do you think about that?
How is your administration going to lower the price of games in 2028?
How will your administration stop delaying GTA 6?
How will you get Rockstar back on a reasonable development cycle?
Tell me, what are the administration plans to actually release the Spider-Verse movie? Tell me about that. Oh my god!
If I were a presidential candidate, I'd do it. I'd be like, what? Sure.
I would too.
Why not?
Trump went on Theo Vaughn. Like, it's not out of the question. Like,
I watched almost his entire Joe Rogan episode, and I have never watched Joe Rogan before.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what?
Just like,
I kind of just want to hear him be a guy. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to see the Fox News 60 Minutes. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Trump. I need Trump to drop his top 5 movies before the end of his presidency. I need to know.
Obama gives his like media list every year.
Yeah. Why? Come on. I know he's busy running the country and everything.
Party is. So.
Well, yeah. Republicans hate fun. All right. Come on.
Unless
if it's not sports ball on Sunday afternoon, it's not worth it.
Amen, brother. Anyway, what a tirade that was.
That's at the end of the episode.
Hey, you get to 6 years, you start saying some weird stuff.
Yeah.
You talk into a microphone for an hour every other weekend for 6 years and try to remember what you say. All right. So, unless you have anything else to add, I think we're ready to wrap up. Thank you guys for your questions. I think we had some really amazing conversations, actually, that we're really happy with. We're just so thankful for your engagement and just the way that you guys have just like poured into the podcast over the last 6 years, really. We'll stay at 6. We'll go to 7.
Why'd you pause? We're going to 10. What are you talking about?
That was
20. I ought to fire you for that. That was stupid. I hate that so much.
Do you hate that I did it, or you hate that you didn't realize that I did it?
Both. It took me a second. I was like, what? We're at
what?
I was like, what are you talking about? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
End the episode.
Anyway,
I want to go
thank
home.
you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure all the links are in the description to follow us on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Link to the merch down there. Subscribe to our personal channels. Everything is down there in the description. We will see you in the next episode. But until then, bye.